Hello everyone, I hope you are doing great. Today we're going to be customizing two palettes. I did film this intro and me picking all the shades for these two custom palettes yesterday, but then I watched it over and I sounded so tired, which is why I shouldn't have filmed it at 12. But today I actually reorganized a couple of the shades. I made this mini 9 pan. I'll give you a little sneak peek. Inspired by the Jamie Genevieve new Muse palette. Pretty much, I just wanted to make a 9 pan neutral palette that was a little bit more purple, and then I made my spooky season palette in this Tarte little leopard print palette. It's so pretty. I'm very happy with it. I did pretty much change like 25% of it, so I'm going to insert a little clip of first me choosing some of the spooky shades, and then we'll come back and I'll swatch this whole palette for you and tell you the differences, like shadows I took out and shadows I picked this morning. And then at the end of the video I will insert a clip of me swatching the 9 pan if you're not really interested in the 9 pan and you just want to look at the spooky palette. But I'll see you soon. Okay, so let's make my spooky season palette. My vision for this is like very purple green. I always love green. There's a lot of green in my last palette too, but I want it to be very like vibrant but still very dark with a little couple of like murky colors, but I want it to be not very like neutral. Like I don't want there to be any browns, anything like that. I am going to put a black in there. You can barely see it because the palette's black. I'm gonna put it right here at the corner. There's still like a little bit of green residue. I'm gonna first start off with choosing colors from this palette that is so messy. First things first, let's get the purples up here. I'm gonna put all of these purple minus the pink. I don't really want pink in there, so I'm gonna take the darkest purple I have, which isn't very dark, but it's the only purple I have. And then there's this pink purple, which I feel like can be very pretty with like green and like blue, like a very teal color. It can be very pretty. It isn't the most spooky color, but I feel like blended in with the purple, it can be a look. So I'm gonna take this red as well. And I think this orange. Do I want orange? Yeah, we'll take this orange. And I think I'm gonna take this yellow and leave this orange in here. Okay, so this is pretty much what I have so far. I put this red from JD Glow back in here. Last time this was also in my palette. Actually, Martini and Volcano were both in there. I didn't get a lot of use. I think I used it maybe once because I really forced myself to use it. I don't really like this color, which is why I want it in this palette. I want to see if I can get some use out of it, or I'm going to decolor it. This Martini, I really like it, but I'm not sure if I need both of these shades. And this is very like light. I kind of want to keep it dark, so this might get kicked out, but for now this is what I have. A lot of purples, some red, orange, a yellow, because I feel like is yellow spooky? I don't know. I just feel like it could be a very pretty accent color, but that might get booted out. And then I have my one mid-tone green to like blend stuff out, and this dark green, which are both from Morphe, James Charles. Actually, all of the Morphe shades in here are from the James Charles palette, and I have my one black. Now we're gonna look in the So Jaded palette from Colourpop to get my other like very dark mattes, and we might start making decisions because I want it to be very purpley green with like maybe a little bit of blue and red. Okay, so this is my Colourpop So Jaded palette. Right off the bat, I'm gonna put this blue in my palette. I love this blue. I got so much use out of this blue last time when it was in my palette. I didn't use it at all before I started actually like depotting these palettes. I'm contemplating buying another Colourpop palette because I got so much use out of the shades pretty much these shades that were in my other palette, because I could depot them and like make my own color story. But to be honest, like all of the ColourPop palettes always have like some jewel tones but so many neutrals, and I just don't need so many neutrals. But they are a little bit difficult to take out, so I just wanted to make sure I was only putting back what I know I was going to use. So I'm going to keep this, and I think I'm going to keep this very like mucky green as well. I just really like it, okay? It's very pretty. It's this shade called, no, it's not this one. It's the shade Jade. This is going to go back. It's like this icy blue, but it's not very, it's very dull, I feel like. Let me swatch it actually. Yeah, I don't know if I really like that. Yeah, I think this is gonna go back. I think this was a shade Aquamarine, so this will go back over here. I really like this color. I think this is turquoise. It's such a pretty color, but it doesn't really match the vibe I'm going for, so this is gonna go back. I'm not sure if I want to get rid of this. This is the shade Period, that one. I'm gonna keep this out for now. We'll see if I choose to get rid of it. I am going to take this shade out called Onyx. It's this black with a lot of glitter in it, and I kind of want that in this palette. To get these out, you do really just have to commit and dig in there. Even if you think you're breaking the palette, you're really not. And I think I'm gonna take Amethyst out, this purple. I kind of want to take this one, but it doesn't have a lot of shimmer. Let me swatch it for you guys. Yeah, I kind of want this one instead of this. Wow, this one really flew out. I don't really want anything from this palette other than that, so I think we're done with this. We might revisit later. Okay, now we're going to look through my Luxie shadows, which I feel like we're going to get quite a bit of shadows from. I really want this shade called Omega. I did have this in my last palette, but I didn't have any purple mattes. I used it with the blue quite a bit, but I feel like since I have the this is like a blue to purple shift, I think since it has like some purple mattes in there now, I can really get more use out of this. I'm also going to take this shade, which is another like very mucky like blue. Let me swatch it for you actually. This is it's the shade Supersonic, and this is the shade Omega. Okay, so this is the shade Omega, and this is shade Supersonic. Supersonic's very like iridescent, more like of a topper shade. Omega is like this very deep like purple with like a blue shift. It's so pretty. I'm also going to put this shade in there just because it's so pretty, and I really want to use it a lot. This is called Painted Lady. It isn't very spooky, but I feel like with like a very dark crease, I can make this very spooky. Like, oh my god, it's so pretty. Look at that. Yeah, I don't care. I'm putting this in there. I do want to take one of these greens. I think I need to restrict the greens. I think I'm only going to take this one. It's like this very lime green. It's just a lime green actually. It's called Electric Venom. It's so pretty, and I feel like with like even like a blue or like, oh my god, with a purple crease, that's gonna be so pretty. Keeping that, I think that's enough. I do really want to take this Siren of the Sea, but I used this quite a bit last time, and I don't want to run out of space in my palette. I really want to keep this in here for like an inner corner highlight, because like this is such a pretty inner corner highlight for like the purples. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take Martini out. It's a very pretty color, and I do really like it, but it's just I don't want to have so many like similar shades in here. Before I organize this or finalize this palette, I'm just gonna go through my Natasha Denona palettes and see if I want to pull anything. I don't think I want to get anything from here. I'm actually gonna do like a Morticia Adams look using my Glam palette, which should be up maybe next week actually. Oh, I think I want to grab like a purple from here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna grab Rebellion, which is this cream to powder matte. Okay, I grabbed Rebellion from the Retro palette. This is my newest Natasha palette. But I really want to put this shade in this palette because I feel like it can really help deepen and like bring like the sultry vibes to this vibe. I really feel like this can also look very pretty with the volcano shadow. I do really want to bring more blue into this, but let's see if I want any more purples. I kind of love this palette and I don't want to break it up. This is the Love palette. If you've seen any of my other Natasha Denona videos, I recommend this very, very highly. And I don't know if I want or need any more shades from this palette. Yeah, I have enough purple, so I'm not going to take any more shades from this for now. We can always come back. Okay, this is the bronze palette. I don't think I'm going to really want anything from this. You know what? I might take this shade called Redoom. I don't know. But I don't use this palette a lot, and I really want to take any chance to use it. And it's like this very weird like purple shade, so I'm only taking this one shade called Iridium from this bronze palette. I don't use this palette that often. Like none of the colors are super unique, so I'm trying to like take any chance to use this palette. And I did see someone commented that this is like one of their favorite palettes and that I need to really give it a chance. So here I am giving this one single shade a chance. Maybe I can swatch it. That's it right there. It's like this plummy, it's like this, I don't know how to describe that shade, but it's right there. It's very pretty actually. I think it could be a good like bottom shade. I always say bottom shade, layering shade, to like layer other shades on top of. Like that can be so pretty. Like that can be so pretty because Painted Lady is so vibrant. To make it like more dark, like these two right there together, I think it could be very spooky. Okay, Sunrise. I think I actually want to take maybe a shade from this. I think instead of this yellow, I'm going to take Citrine. I just like the way that one looks more. That's Citrine right there. I don't really like yellow shades, so I don't know if I'm going to get a lot of use out of this, but it's going to be right there. Last but not least, my Zendo palette, and I'm 100% sure going to take Mantra, Zeal. I feel like it can be so pretty, and this shade is pretty much the only shades I use in this palette anyways. I might actually even take Vigor. Actually no, I'm gonna take Mantra, Equilibrium, and Zeal from my Zendo palette, which is so scratched up. It's pretty much the only shades I use in this palette anyways, and they're very spooky. Okay, so instead of the Equilibrium shade from the Zendo palette, I'm gonna take this Almar blue shade. It's one of my favorite shades ever. I just love this blue. I can swatch it for you. Oh my god, look how pretty. Oh, I love that so much. I'm actually also going to put Unexpected by JD Glow in there. This is a very unexpected choice, but I just think it's so pretty, and I know I can use it with these other shades. Like look how pretty this area looks. Oh my god, it's so pretty. I have this shade from the James Charles Morphe palette. It's like this very like, that shade is very close to Martini. Actually, I will swatch Martini for you guys as well from JD Glow, just so we can compare them. Actually, it's not even a little bit similar. It's like that's very dirty green shade, but this one's a lot darker. I got so much use out of Martini in my last palette. I really want to, I depotted this whole James Charles palette. I might as well use the shades, and it's actually a very pretty color. So I'm going to try to like work it in there. Let me see if I can move this purple. I'm also going to put this silver in there. It's just a silver. I just feel like I could do something with it. It's mostly I put it in here because I love the silver and the purples in the Love palette. But I'm pretty sure this is it. This is my spooky palette. It does not look very organized, but I will insert a photo I'll be completely organized, and I'll include some swatches as well. Okay, hello everyone. So this is it. This is my spooky season palette. Yes, you guys can see it. So I did make quite a bit of changes. I do have them like all swatched out, and I did turn the flash on so you can really see some of the special shades. Last night I completely forgot about orange. I feel like I didn't put any orange shimmers. I changed that out. I put in a little bit more of a couple of mattes. So let's go through it. First, we're gonna go through the greens. I did try to like make it so like they're separated by color family, but it got a little bit hard because of the size of the pans. And one last thing I want to mention is I definitely want to not make a custom palette this large again. I think I'm going to buy like smaller magnetic palettes, maybe like 9 pans and like 12 pans instead of this, because there's just too many shades, and I felt like it wasn't as condensed as like my 9 pan was, that you will see towards the end of the video. But let's start with the greens, which are all swatched over here. Start off from this corner, the green corner. This matte and this lime green matte are both from Morphe. These two shades are from the Natasha Denona Zendo palette, the two most used shades. This is from the Morphe palette. This is a Luxie shadow called Electric Venom. This is from the ColourPop So Jaded palette, and it's the shade Period. And I'll show you. So it's right over here. So this is the Electric Venom shade from Luxie. It's this very pretty lime green with a gold shift that I thought would look so pretty with the purples. I'll show you guys. And this is the Morphe shadow from the James Charles palette, which I haven't ever used once on my eyes, but it's just like very dark green with like a gold shift. And this shadow right here is the Mantra shade from the Zendo palette. I don't know if you can see, but it is a cream. Yeah, you can see that little bit of sheen compared to this Morphe shadow because it's a cream formula. I just think this is gonna be a very good base for some of the other shades. I love using this on my eyes. It's so deep, so pretty. This is that Period shade from the So Jaded palette. It's such a pretty transition. It's like a mossy green. I'm so excited. Like, this alone is such a pretty palette, but like mixed with like the reds even and like the purples. Oh, I can't wait. Okay, next I'm going to show you the purple shadows. This is the shade Insane, which I completely forgot about and didn't put in this palette. But now it's here. It's so pretty. I took out one of the mattes from the James Charles palette and just kept these two purple mattes, a darker one and a lighter one, to blend it out. This is the shade, I don't remember, but it's the purple from the So Jaded palette, and I'll show you these four. Okay, so here we are. This is the Insane shade. Look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. And this is the purple shade from the So Jaded palette, the light and the dark matte from the James Charles palette. Look how pretty the dark purple is. The light purple is a little bit patchy. I did try to clean off my fingers as much as possible while I was swatching these. Okay, next I'm going to show you the reds, which are like scattered through the middle. This is from the Morphe palette. This is from the Ace Beauty Grandiose palette. This is Rebellion from the Retro palette. So pretty. This is the shade Volcano from JD Glow, and I'm not sure about this shadow, you guys. I'm just not sure. It's very pretty, but it's so dry, and it's very hard to like pick up. I'll show you the swatch as well. This is from the James Charles palette as well. This is a shadow from the Sunrise palette. I just thought it was very pretty to blend out some of the darker shades with. This is, I actually don't know what this is. Give me a second. So this is the orange shade that I included this morning. I completely forgot about an orange shimmer. It's called Caterpillar from Luxie. This is one of my favorite shades from Luxie. I will link that video down below where I swatch like all the Luxie shadows I bought. It's an orange base with a very strong shift of a yellow gold. So pretty. I just thought it looked so pretty with the greens and the purples. Oh, can't wait to use it with these. And I'll show you the swatches first. So these are some of the red mattes I included. This is why I want a smaller palette. Like, I don't need all three of these, especially these two. This is a cream to matte from Natasha, but still, like, I didn't need all this. This is the shadow called Volcano from JD Glow. I showed you guys. I just don't like it very much. I don't know what it is. I just don't like it. This is such a pigmented yellow from the Natasha palette. And look at that shade swatched Caterpillar from Luxie. And then I do have like a silver in here because I thought it'd be very pretty inner corner highlight. And it's right there. It's from the Storybook palette. Storybook, what's it called? Little Brer palette, I think. But it's very the swatches of these red and orange shades are very pretty. So these are all the swatches. This does kind of look like a Christmas palette. But I'm very excited to like mix and match. I feel like I get very stuck in the multi-chromatic style of makeup, and I really want to like mix and match a little bit more. I am, you can see in the corner, I'm wearing a spooky, like it's a pink nightie with cats all over, spooky cats all over. Very exciting. Okay, now let's go over to my dark side, my dark arm of swatches. I'm going to show you like these very deep, like cool toned shimmers and mattes. So this is the shade Painted Lady from Luxie. It's so stunning. I'll show you the swatch right now because I can't stop. Oh my god, look at that. It's this like purple and it shifts to like this silvery blue. It's so pretty. And I thought like with the greens, look at that, so pretty. And then next is this shade called Siren of the Seas, I believe, from Luxie again. This is more of an iridescent shade. This is, I forgot about this last night too. I really wanted to put this shade in here. This is from a Dominique Cosmetics palette. I got it in BoxyCharm. I think she does sell in Sephora still. If I can find it, I'll link it down below. It's just like very, oh, the swatch is not good. Let me see if I can build it up. It's like this purpley gray mid-toned shadow, but on the lids it gets very deep. And this is that Siren of the Seas shade I showed you from Luxie. It's like this very iridescent, more of like a topper shade, but I thought it'd be very pretty as an inner corner highlight as well. Next is Unexpected. It's such a pretty shade, you guys. Look at it, it's right there. It's so pretty. I like with the blues. It has like blue, it has like pretty much every single shift. It has gold, it has purple, it has blue, so I thought it would look very pretty with the blues and the purples. As the inner corner highlight, as a lid shade, you could do so much with this shade. Next, I have some blues. I try not to use the same shades from my last palette, but some of them did make it back again, like this blue from Armor Cosmetics. It's right there. It's just like it's like a navy shimmer, but it's such a pretty color, so I had to have it back in here. This is the shade Omega from Luxie. That's it, swatched right there. It's very hard to show you guys the shift, but it's a purple, you guys, I promise, with a very strong blue shift. But here it looks like kind of like a turquoise in the camera. Next, I have this very shimmery black from the So Jaded palette, and then I have a black, just a basic black from Violet Balls palette. And I also have this navy shade that's called Sapphire from the So Jaded palette, and those are right here. Here's the shimmery black compared to the black. So the So Jaded black has like silver and purple reflex. Okay, you guys, so this is my final palette. I'm so excited for spooky season. I just think I could do so many looks with this that are more like grungy and deep and dark. And I just love orange and purple looks on Instagram, and I never recreate them like every single year for Halloween, so I'm gonna definitely do a bunch of those looks. I'm so excited. So I have this big Morphe magnetic palette full of neutral shadows. When I made my other custom palette, like for the fall, that was like blue, green, and red, I actually didn't use many shadows from this palette, and so I really want to make like a small palette with all the purple tones so I can get some use, because I spent so long depotting so many neutral palettes to like collect them like this, but I haven't been using them. So we're gonna start, and right off the bat, I do know I want to take this shadow, this very broken one. This actually comes from the Morphe 35B palette, like the very colorful one. It's like this purple. I just love the color of this. I'll swatch this for you. But when I tried to depot it, it actually shattered. But I love this color so much that I like trying to save it. Hopefully I'm not hitting my mic too much. I'm also going to take this like neutral pink. I'll try to like leave where I got these from. I'm pretty sure this is like from like some BoxyCharm palette. Sorry, it's very late, so my brain is a little bit slow right now. I'm also going to take this purple. This comes from, I know where this comes from. This is from a Violet Voss palette, and the shade name is, you guessed it, purple. That's why I remember this. Like it's from the Natural palette that was in a BoxyCharm. I think this purple is very similar to like the tones in the Vieve palette. I also want to take this like red, very deep brown. I think this is gonna be the darkest shade in my palette. I'm just now realizing I don't have a lot of those like tones. I do have these two, which I think I'm gonna put in the palette as well. They lean a little bit more like red browns instead of purple browns, but they do look very pretty together, so we'll keep those. These both I think are from Violet Voss. No, this one's from Violet Voss, and this like more reddy brown is from the Almar Cosmetics palette, which I love the blues from actually, which were part of my other custom palette. Oh my god, how did I forget about this? I was actually looking for this shade. This is from the Storybook palette. Okay, so let's talk about the mini Jamie Genevieve inspired palette I made. So this is it. I'll give you a little close up. Okay, so we can go through these 9 shades. The first shade I picked was this pink one. The first shade I picked was this pink one that's from a Violet Voss palette called the Neutrals. Then I have the Storybook like very light lilac purple. I just chose it because I thought it would be a very good blending shade. And then this shade is from the James Charles Morphe palette, and this is like a very warm peachy shade. I don't know why, I kind of really liked it. I wanted it in here just so it's not all cool tones, just to bring a little bit of warmth. And I also thought it would look very pretty with just like the pink shade blended in the crease. Okay, so the next row I actually ended up switching out one of the shimmer shades for this one from Luxie. It's like this purple that has a little bit of a blue shift that I thought could be very cool. I'll show you all the swatches later. This is again from the same Storybook palette. It's like more of a burgundy, like more, it's like a purple but it's more pink tone. And then this shade that I explained in the video, it's from Morphe 35B palette, and I have it like scrunched in. And then this one is from the Almar Cosmetics palette. The first one, like the yellow palette, it's like this very how do I explain this? It's pretty much like very purple tone brown. It's still, I would still call it a brown. I would think it just has a lot of purple in it. This is a obviously a burgundy, very deep matte. It's so pretty. And then I have like this very cool tone, almost black, but it is a brown matte, and I'll show you the swatches now. Okay, so this is the pink. I just thought it'd be very pretty. It like has a gold reflect. I thought it'd be very pretty inner corner highlight. Then this one is the very, you can't really tell. It's more of a blending shade. It isn't very pigmented, but I don't really plan on like really packing it in. I'm using it as more of a blending out shade for these like deeper tones right over here. This is the shade right here, which I have from the It's like the peachy matte that I chose that I thought would look very pretty with like the pink. Even this duochrome from Luxie, which is called, so this is the shade from Luxie. Like, look how pretty it is. Really a strong blue shift. It's called Hustle, and that is Hustle swatch right over there. You can really see like the blue reflect, which I thought would be very pretty. And then compared to the shimmer, like if you just look at it like this, they do look kind of similar, but this one obviously doesn't have that blue reflect and it is a little bit deeper. This is the this is the shade that I saved from the 35B palette. It's like this very, very cool toned, very cool toned, deep brown with like a purple undertone. And then these are the 3 deep mattes that are on the bottom. This is from the Almar palette. These both are from the James Charles palette. I just thought, oh my god, look how pretty these 3 look together. I just thought, yeah, I don't need both of these in the palette, but I just thought to build up like a very pretty, like a basic crease, these 3 can be very pretty. Like old school YouTube, like, you know, taking this, blending it out with this, and then blending it out with this, using this as like a liner and like a very, very deep outer corner shade. I just think this is such a pretty palette. I think I can definitely do so many different things with this, and it's compared to the larger Tarte palette, like having to condense down a palette to 9 shades is so much harder, but then you know each shadow has a purpose. So I'm very excited to use this. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys have the best Halloween. I just wish you guys have the best end of the year. I'm so excited. This is my favorite time of the year. But besides that, I will see you guys next week with the Morticia Adams kind of like chit chatty get ready with me. So subscribe if you want to see that. Bye.